Serving first from California, John Vike and Octavio Silveira. Receiving serve, also from California, Marcos Chavez and Vincent MUNOZ. Play ball, 0-0.
You're listening to continued coverage from the world of pro handball. It's the U.S. Open of handball, brought to you by Simple Green. This is the men's double finals. John Vike Jr. in the server's box.
Point.
Vincent MUNOZ and his team with Marco Chavez.
1-0.
And then Toddy Silveira and John Vike both wearing the same shirts in there. It's nice to see the doubles teams looking somewhat color coordinated, Danny.
Yes, it's easier for the ref. Easier for the players also.
I'd like to see them even make that a rule, or.
It should be, actually. It should be at such a fast pace. No, it's easier for the referee.
I know the Irish teams have it down, but they do it for a different reason. They're doing it because of the Irish pride. But nice to see these guys come out there wearing more of a uniform. It's easier for the gallery too. And I'm telling you right now, I've never seen as many people packed into a gallery like the one we have right now. Look at that beautiful shot from Toddy Silveira, just dumping that with his left hand. And you really know what brings us out right now is the local boys here.
That door open, it's
hard for these guys to remember to lock that door after the players go in. That was Nadi Alvarado Sr.
Took care of that.
Latching the door.
That out.
Nice touch by Vince.
0-3. Short. Second serve.
Marcos likes that serve down the middle on their righty-lefty team.
Point.
John Vike and Toddy Silveira have 4 national championships together.
1-3.
One dating back to 1991. The last one was in 1997. And then John Vike has won with Nadi Alvarado Jr. in 2001.
Point.
Yeah, you got top 4 players in there. Lots of national titles, singles and doubles.
2-3.
All of them are national champion.
Yeah, you're right. Vince and Marcos have won before too. In fact, they did it in 2004. They won together as a team, but then Vince has won multiple times and Marcos has won a couple times too.
Yep.
Vince won with Dave Chapman 3 years in a row from 1998 to 2000. And then again won with Dave Chapman in 2002. Marcos won with Norm Dunn. You might remember in 2003, he teamed up with Norm Dunn and they won the doubles, and then teamed up with Vince MUNOZ and they won the doubles in 2004. And I think that was the year they slammed and won the doubles in the 3-wall nationals as well. So we got a lot of national championships out here. John Vike gets an amazing get.
Point.
Oh, too bad Toddy missed that one.
John Vike hits the deck twice. And then Toddy misses that somewhat easy left-hand shot over there.
Short.
That's Marcos going for the crack serve.
Half out.
That was a good run by Marcos there. 5 points.
5-3. Short. Second serve.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered too, after being down 3-0, coming back with 5 unanswered points.
Replay.
Nice to have James Comstoff.
5-3.
Yeah, he's a good referee. Very good referee.
His 3rd straight match here.
Point. Six, 3.
Good volley here, defensive.
The crowd's fairly quiet right now, but they will get lit up a little later on when things start heating up in here. Nice little crack shot there. And
beautiful V pass by Vince Munoz. He saw those two white shirts coming in, so he went for the pass.
Got a crack on that into that shot.
Set out. Three, 7.
Really see John Bike more energized in this one than he was yesterday in the semifinals match.
Half out.
Really extending himself today. He said he feels really good too.
Yeah, he looks more ready today than he did yesterday. Yesterday he let Taddy play. Didn't feel comfortable, and Taddy wanted to take over, and that's what he did.
Set out.
No.
Seven, 3. Point.
Nice serve. Ace.
8, 3.
Rare miss by Toddy Silveira. Ball kind of took a weird bounce back there.
Yeah, it's hard to see the ball with the crowd. Dark
9,
glass.
3.
You look back and you see that big old smiling face from Vern Roberts taking your picture back in that right corner. And boy, look at the crowd. Look how many people are in the stands right now. There's a standing room only up in the gallery up there. It's another 20 or 30 folks trying to get their head in there to watch that. And mainly these seats have been sold, just a couple of them have been sold at a fee, but everybody else gets a seat for free, which is a real nice added feature here. Not really trying to make money from this tournament. They're just trying to give people the opportunity to watch a really good doubles match. It's a nice little twist.
Yes.
10, 3.
It's all about marketing the game, you know.
Nice kill.
Half out.
He had that wide open.
10, 3.
A little change of pace on that shot too.
Screen serve.
That wasn't the usual
To serve.
90 mile an hour shot that Toddy used to do. That was just
a nice touch. Placement, good placement.
He really didn't want to hit it any harder. If you hit it harder and it's a little higher than you want, then that ball does come out. So that's a nice little three-quarter hit.
It's funny to see Bike and Taddy switch side so early in the match. John was on the left at the beginning of the match. I guess they wanted to do something different because they were down. They took the lead 3-0, and they
3-11.
They're down 3-11 now.
Looked like that could have been a foot fault in the front.
Looked like it.
Did you see it?
It was close, but. We'll see if the guy's going to appeal it. I doubt it.
Oh, look at that.
What a get by Vince.
Nice get. He just came out of the weeds.
He was screened by Marcos, by his own player. He still got it.
Look at all those guys really tightly bunched up in the middle of the court there.
There you go.
Boy, he hits that ball so hard. Even though Marcos Chavez has really good hands, I mean, some of the best hands on the Pro Tour, when John loads up like that, it's very hard to return the ball, especially with this fast ball.
And lately, John used to go for the kill and shots like that, but lately he's been just pounding the ball, putting some stuff on it. So even the ball is not really low. The ball moves a lot, and that's what fooled Marcos on that shot. Ball probably moved like a foot to the right.
Yeah, it's funny that John hits the ball so hard, and he always gets noted for how hard he hits the ball, but he actually does hook the ball too.
Yeah.
And when you start hooking the ball after you're hitting it about 85 to 90 miles an hour, now you've added a certain dimension that it's just really impossible to get your hand on. And certainly Marcos wasn't in a position to try to read whether John was going to put a reverse or a natural on that.
Exactly.
He just wanted to open up his hand and try to just react as quick as he can. And sometimes you just can't react that fast. And you know that because you got to play Desi Keegan yesterday and talking about trying to react to someone who hits the ball hard.
Wow. Power. Talking about power. Unbelievable.
Point.
It was an easy point there.
5-11.
Oh, look at that little spin. Did Tati Silveira always have that, the reverse?
Yeah, he always had. Actually, his left swing is a natural reverse, which is very rare to any players. Brady's the same.
Right out.
He goes over the ball, and that's his natural swing with his left. But Tati on the right, he can do whatever
11,
he wants.
5.
Go over it or under it.
Yeah, and I've seen Naughty Jr. do the same thing, where he goes over the top of a lot of the balls hit. Not necessarily.
Oh,
an avoidable
hinder.
Hey, Vince, stop arguing. Vince, you stood up. You cannot stand up.
I see Vince says good call right there.
Half out.
Look how the two players went for the same shot, and look, and Vince got up very slowly.
That was an avoidable hinder. You're right.
Yeah, it was a good call.
And that was kind of odd to see James Comstock actually jump in really quickly there, saying, "You stop arguing."
Yeah.
5-11.
He wants to make sure there's not going to be any problem. That was a good call.
Oh, it's a very good call. And you know, Vince Munoz actually looked right up at James and that's a good call, pointed at him. That's a good call. Vince is one of the most cordial players you can find.
Point.
Doesn't talk much, and when he does, he's a gentleman. Marcos usually does most of the talking for Vince, in fact.
6-11.
Yeah, Vin doesn't talk very much. Ooh.
Half out.
Naughty Alvarado Jr. was in the booth earlier, and he said that Marcos was Vince's translator. But we all know that that's not necessarily the case. Naughty jokingly says that when he tries to get a hold of Vince for a match, he just calls Marcos to line up the game.
Point. Seven, 11.
Still very impressed with James Comstock jumping in there and stopping that from being a huge argument.
Yeah, James is pretty much in control. He knows the game.
Look at that. And it barely gets the front wall. That's Vince again. What is he?
Replay. Oh.
Wow.
No, that's not a replay. It's a two bounce.
The point.
Boy, that was amazing seeing Vincent get that ball the first time, but then the second time, he was 38 feet back.
Yeah, but he called it two bounce on himself.
Running all the way in there to get close to that ball.
It fooled Comstock a little bit. He thought there was a hinder. Actually, Marcos was in Vince's way.
Oh, and Vince saw that ball coming, and then double bounce. As we throw the towel on the ground to get all the moisture off this court, it's been kind of slippery the last couple days, and the locals say they attribute that to being because the wind stopped blowing. The first couple days we were here, Thursday and Friday, it was blowing, and then halfway through Friday it seemed like it stopped, and now all of a sudden we have a lot of moisture on the court. That's because of the gallery. There's so many people in there. They all have beverages, and then the players are continuous games going on.
11.
They're fighting back. John Bike and Tati Silveira is now 8-11 after being down 3-11.
And that court's going to get worse by the time the single match is going to start.
You're talking about some major league doubles teams in here. All of these guys know how to play the sport the way it needs to be played. Yeah, you might see a hand error, but they play with each other multiple times. Look at that rotation in there from both of the teams.
Replay.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Moving pretty well.
There was a nice little clip there halfway through when you saw both teams all moving out of the way, giving the lane, coming back in again. The great lineups. This is really a good strategic game to watch. This doubles.
Point.
See that left? He went over the ball. That's a natural swing. It reversed, but it was so low. Look at him go over the ball.
The only other person I ever saw hit a ball somewhat like that would be Jerry Fagundes.
Yeah.
He hits those balls like that. You're right. No, you don't see a lot of people hitting over the top like that. Paul Brady does it. Sometimes Naughty Jr. will do it.
11-9.
So you almost say that Toddy Silveira's natural is a reverse.
Yeah, it is.
Serve.
It's always been. With his left.
Another guy that's been working on that is David Wersch. He's been working on a lot of hops in the middle of the rally with both hands.
Yeah, he's a good hopper.
Half out. $11-9. Replay. $11-9.
Right off dead center, off the hole in the front wall. Didn't look like a bounce pad, it just made a sound.
Replay.
Vince was kind of shuffling in on that shot. It was pretty close. If he was a little bit more over to the left, it would have been an avoidable hinder.
Nice get by John Bike. That ball's gonna have to be flat.
Replay.
You got 4 quick guys in the court, and they're starting to get in to the match. Really, they're warmed up. They're gonna be on the short line and getting everything. Especially with that new ball, it's much tougher to get it lower and make it flat. It bounces so much.
It's very fast, and something else I noticed with that ball, Danny, is that not only is it fast, but when it spins, and you get a lot of momentum going with that spin, maybe in the right corner, for example, when you hit a ball to the right corner first, it just flies coming out of the front wall, and it also does that on the back wall, where we'll see balls that are heading down actually lift up off the back wall.
It goes up.
Slide
That
ball,
ball slid.
replay.
Good call by the ref.
Part of the reason why you see these slide balls is because the
11-9.
doubles partner is actually laying up against that wall right there, and
Replay.
even though that slide was further back, but their shirts are wet and they lean up against that wall, and during timeouts it's nice to see that they're going in now and actually cleaning the floors and the walls too.
Good call by John Bike. I thought he had that.
Oh wow, look at that. Toddy Silveira between the legs, he actually almost got it.
I'd like to see a replay on that.
13-9.
Boy, that was really fast. Oh,
Right out.
as Naughty Jr. would say, he just wasn't quite far enough back yet in order to hit that shot.
We'll see I think they're trying to give us the replay of between the legs.
I got to meet Toddy Silveira for the first time today. Actually, I've shook his hand many times in the past, but watch it. There's
There
that
you
shot.
go. He almost made it. Look at this. With his left. The ball probably got stuck in his hand a little bit.
9-13.
Very fast reflexes.
Short. Second serve.
Nice get by Vince.
Point.
John just wanted that ball to be a little bit lower when he went for that kill shot, and
13.
Vince made a nice get.
Replay.
That was a good shot selection by Tati Silveira. After a kill, he went for the pass.
10,
Surprise
13.
Marcos.
One short. Second serve. Yeah, if it hits you twice, that's a short.
Look at
It
John.
doesn't happen very
Second
often.
serve.
It doesn't happen often that you have to turn to Toddy and say, wait a second, that's a short? And John says, yeah, it's a new rule.
Point.
Tati hasn't been around for a while, so.
It shows you how amazing Toddy is, and all that
11,
respect that he has
13.
from all the handball players. The fact that he's just held in the same regard that he always has. He's still just as good as he always was, you know, and forget that he's been out of handball for a couple years and doesn't know that's a new rule.
Yeah.
He's been playing in the firehouse. They probably don't have rules like that there. John will have an interesting perspective on that later. Look at these gets.
It's a good volley.
Oh.
Half out.
The guys wants to put the ball so low because it's like I said earlier, it's so tough to kill that ball.
11,
So
13.
you're tempting to go a little lower, still a little lower, and there's a mistake coming.
It was nice to see John get out of the way there.
Bad bounce, replay.
That's interesting. No, it must be that little crease in the wall right
Probably, yeah. But Kamstuff's got a good angle on that.
11, 13.
there. Nice to see a referee actually watching that ball come all the way to the
Yeah,
back
and calling
wall.
it right as it
Free
happens.
serve.
Not having to have the players lobby.
Yeah, sometimes the referee wait
Two
till
serve, one screen.
there's an appeal and ask the linesman. But the referee's really sharp. He calls it right away.
Wow, that went out into the gallery. That's that new fast, lively ball.
Yeah.
I keep bringing this up that I think if a ball goes out of a regulation court, you might want to change the ball because you can't change the court and make them any taller. That maybe a regulation court is supposed to be an exact cube, and that ball,
11,
you know, if you didn't have that opening
13.
up there, maybe the ball would just hit up there. So the ball might be just a little too lively if you can't stay in a regular
Replay.
court. But no one's listening to my argument. I'm not a huge fan of the new
But that's a good court too. You know,
11,
the floor is
13.
very good. The front wall is very good. So good ball, good court. Those things happen.
Yeah, it's made out of cement, the front wall is. Oh,
Point.
that was smart. Toddy knew that he had Marco Chavez right behind him. And you know, rule of thumb, you got the guy behind you and you're close to the wall, hit the wall that
13.
they're on first. Doubles always changes that rule just a little bit because you have another partner to worry about.
But then again, that ball wasn't flat. I mean, Vince just wasn't on position. Look how low these guys hit them. Always gettable.
Slide ball, replay.
Was that frustrating when you're in there playing really hard and all of a sudden the rally ends with a slide ball?
Yeah, it is frustrating. You work hard and the volley has to end because of that, or sometimes a bad bounce, and that happens often during a good volley.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I've seen it both ways, and sometimes when you're serving, you say, okay, this is a good time for us to take a little quick time out here too, and you know, clean the floor. But ultimately, if you're serving, it's all right because now you get to go for your ace serve again and get back in the server's box. So it actually works out fine for the person that's or the team that is serving. But sometimes it is frustrating because you feel like you're finally getting your opponents into position where you've been working on.
12.
And then a ball
13.
slides like that. We're going to see a lot of those for this into this match, and then as the singles gets on too.
Nice get by John Boyd. It's a kill shot.
John a little upset with himself there. It was almost a screen, and James let him play through.
That was a good no call by the referee. The ball was slow, was high. Let Marcos step in and make the shot.
Neither John Bike or Toddy Silveira really rolling balls out today, but they are very active. See, that normally is a rollout opportunity.
Yeah.
Nice get.
Oh.
Half out.
Vince has not gotten into the groove yet with that ball off the back wall. Neither has really any opponent here.
13-12. Start. Second serve.
Well, that was
Point.
I thought that was a screen, but John,
No, I mean,
14,
John thought
12.
that Taddy was going to get it, and Taddy left it for John, and miscommunication here.
Second serve. Point.
Wow, nice touch by Marcos Chavez. He fooled everybody over there. Look at a little dump to the right.
that's kind of a three-wall dump there. You know, he's played so much three-wall that
He was not in position to take that shot, and he took it.
those are the shots that you have to learn to take when you're playing three-wall, because you got your opponent so far behind you that you sometimes have to throw them off by being planted one way and just kind of sticking the hand out. That's why Sean Lenning is so good at three walls, because he has those really good hands. But Marcos and Vince both really good at three-wall, and sometimes they'll surprise you by fly killing or taking balls in awkward positions and dumping them in the front court. That time it came in handy. Marcos Chavez, Vince MUNOZ, they're winning this one 15-12 against the #1 seeds John Bike Jr.
12.
and Toddy Silveira. This is the men's double finals of the U.S. Open of Handball. First game.
Point.
Nice serve.
It's all brought to you by Simple Green. That was a nice serve.
16-12.
Same serve. Almost the same serve.
Side out.
He didn't hit the crack the same way. It was like an inch of a difference as a serve, and it was a setup instead of a point.
16.
See what John does on this serve.
Point.
Nice. The crack needed those.
13-16. Replay. Thirteen, 16. Half out.
Boy, you've seen John Bike kill so many of that. That's the signature John Bike shot right there, where he's a little off balance and on his back foot. I've seen him kill so many balls from that position.
Right out.
Yeah, Taddy left it too high this time.
John Bike, 40 years old. Toddy Silveira is 34, almost 35, and then Vincent MUNOZ is 37. Marcos Chavez is 30.
Lots of experience in that
Second
court.
man, 16-13. Hey.
16 double national titles in the court right now.
Altogether?
Altogether,
That's amazing.
16 just in the four wall. We haven't even gone into three wall and collegiate and juniors and world titles. We haven't talked about that, but just 16 national titles dating back to 1991. That's when John Bike and Toddy Silveira teamed up and won a nationals together. Talking about a United States Handball Association Nationals, and now this one though is a Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball.
Replay.
It's the very first U.S. Open of Handball, the Nadi Alvarado Classic. They've made a 3-year commitment.
16-13.
Simple Green has to at least offer $100,000 in prize money each year, at least. Yeah, Toddy made a mistake there. Eventually, Toddy's going to have to try to go for a kill shot here.
Side out.
Oh,
You know, that's going to be a rare. That's going to be a rare thing here. Just something I'm picking up is that if Toddy and John Bike want to go into these extended rallies, that actually benefits Vince Munoz and Marcos Chavez a little bit, not just because of age, but Marcos and Vince play a lot of 3-wall together. They do a lot of fly kills, and John and Toddy are. If they're going to play a defensive style of game, I don't think their defense is as good as the defensive game that Marcos and Vince have. And then you can start factoring in age if you want to. John just isn't getting around the court like he used to, and he is a big guy though, and you know, they certainly have a strategy of trying to of serving and shooting. But if they are going to keep that strategy, someone's actually going to have to try to shoot a ball a little bit lower than 12 inches, because I've been seeing these foot-high or 16-inch high kill shots from both Toddy and John. And John, when he does take a kill shot, he's been digging balls down into the ground and kind of missing those.
well, those 4 players in their prime, they used to kill the ball all the time. But maturity arrived, and these guys, they are more quiet. They go for the ceiling, 3-wall. 10 years ago, that match, you would not have seen any ceiling. You would have seen kill shots all the time, pounding the ball.
Let's go to the court with Kara Mack, who's standing right outside the door. Kara?
We're coming up to where the official is, and he's been doing the games all day long. I'm with James Comscroft.
You're right.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, I'm getting better, Dave. When you were doing doubles versus the singles this morning, what is the differences that you're looking for?
Doubles is a lot harder to referee. There's 4 guys in there instead of 2, and so they're big guys, and they have long reach, and so they end up running into each other a lot. So there's a lot more hinders, a lot more play stoppages. You just got to pay more attention. But these guys are professionals, so you know they know the rules and they're playing clean.
Any surprises you're seeing today?
No, Healy over Peugeot was a pretty standard result, and these guys are going to fight till the end. This is going to be a close match.
Are you going to be doing the finals?
Yes.
All right, what do you suspect is going to happen there?
Brady's been tough to beat lately, so he's the favorite.
Yeah. I have to say, we had the replay button going the whole entire time. You've been doing a great job.
Thank you.
Usually right, not always right, so we've got to continue on. I see the guys starting up here. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Tell James next time that we do appreciate the fact that we have a referee that makes a real quick call like that. Danny, you're sitting in the broadcast booth with me, and you are regarded as one of the very best referees too. And you know, you guys, just like James, make those real quick decisions that makes a player out there not have to worry about the referee.
Exactly.
When they're playing, you want to make that real quick decision, the real quick call.
Yeah, you don't want to hesitate. That game is so fast. You got to make the call right away.
There's nothing worse.
There's a quality when the guys don't have to go for the linesman. It's because you made the right call and you made it quick.
13-16.
And there's nothing worse than being a real heated match when you have to exert yourself. And
oh, what a get by Vince, and Toddy just pounded back at him.
You hear the crowd going wild, but there's nothing worse than in a match when you're playing really hard and there's another opponent of yours that's dictating how the calls are being made because the ref isn't making a quick call, and then after a while it just gets in your head. You just like, I can't even play this game. I don't even want to play anymore because everything I do is wrong, or I don't get the calls that I'm looking for. A guy like James Comstock makes a real quick decision out there, and yourself, you do the same thing when you're reffing. And earlier we saw that avoidable hinder call was a right decision he made, and immediately Marcos started talking back to the ref, and James Comstock just pointed his finger right down at him. You do not argue with me, and he raised his voice, and
right away,
that ended that decision. Now we're playing handball, and those guys have forgot all about it. And you know, Marcos and James are really good friends.
Oh. Called an avoidable on Taddy.
It doesn't matter. You got to get out of the way of both of them.
Let's see that. I'd like to see that replay.
Toddy's looking back at James saying, is that a new rule too? Let's look here. Toddy's in the white shirt.
16-14. Short.
Oh yeah, Taddy didn't move at all.
Second
He didn't move at all.
Oh, yeah,
He pointed at Vince. He said that he thought Vince was going to get it, but you don't want to take a shot away because you think the other player is going to take it. That was the right call by James Comstock again.
Yeah, you're right. Even though you thought you might think somebody else is going to take it, you still can't take away the other opponent's shot.
Especially that the ball was real high in the air. He had plenty of time to move out. It's not like it was a fast play.
16-14.
A lot of referees are afraid to call avoidable hinders. James has called 2 of them today. Both of them involved.
One on each side.
Yeah, both of them involved Vince Munoz in a kind of a strange way.
Second serve.
Then again, I guess every avoidable hinder in a match like this is going to involve somebody.
Tight out.
You can hear
14-16.
Lupita bike out in the crowd there.
Nice get by John Bike.
Almost hindered his partner Tati. But you know, yesterday Lupita said, you know, I'm pretty calm when it comes to John's games. I don't cheer. I usually reserve that for my brother Naughty because John's more in control. You remember her saying that?
Yes.
Well, you can hear her out there right now because she knows this is a little bit different. He might be in control, but you know, she's in control of the checkbook, and she sees $7,000 coming her way. So.
Yeah, she's a great fan. She loves the game, and she's always there to support.
You know, what's a great thing about her is that she'll watch another match, and then I'll just walk up to her and ask her, you know, what's going on in here, and she'll analyze what's going on and who's making the mistakes. Boy, she is smart.
She used to. She had to go through John playing Natty often. You know, her husband playing her brother must have been tough to be a fan at that time.
Well, it's kind of a lose-lose and a win-win at the same time. No matter what, you always have somebody that's close to you that's going to win, and emotionally very difficult, I'm sure. Look at that shot. It just pops back up.
Replay.
Good call.
Yeah, Toddy wants that one back. He actually had Marcos pinned behind him. I don't think he really wanted to go to the left wall there, but he certainly wanted to hit that ball down the left wall and let it slide down.
Short. Oh. That hit you, Toddy?
It hit him, but he moved his foot to avoid the short.
He says it didn't hit him. I didn't see that. You guys want to appeal whether it hit him? I didn't see that.
Yeah, Marcus is going for that. Let's look.
Look at Teddy move his foot.
He's appealing whether the ball hit Toddy or not. I said it didn't.
It did. It actually did hit Toddy, but
not. Did not.
Yeah, it did. Look at the angle of the ball.
You disagree?
Definitely hit his foot.
Hit Toddy. That's half out.
Wow.
Half out.
Half out.
Toddy. The linesman overruled me on whether it hit him. He was out of the box. It's a half out. He was out of the box.
You know what? That's a good call.
Out of the box.
Taddy should not have moved at all. He's not allowed to move. And he put his foot across the line, and the ball touched him. So it's, look, he's over the line, and he touched the ball. You could see the ball.
And the reason why
14-16.
It went over the line is he's just been playing Firehouse Handball for so long that he sees that ball's going to be a short, and he sticks his foot out to just kick it.
They probably do it at the fire station over there.
It's again, you know, this is a gentleman's sport, and although you might sit back and go, hey, he's just kicking at the ball, that's not what a gentleman does. Actually, it kind of is. You know, you say, well, it's a short, let me just stick my foot out and stop it, and that's what, you know, that's, but you can't do it in a venue like this. It's a no-no. James Comstock's right on top of this. He's the one thing though that I did see him do is that he provoked the team to take an appeal on that. He actually egged them in. You guys want to take an appeal on this? You can. I'm not saying that that's not necessarily fair, but the the opposing team there, they probably wouldn't have said anything. James kind of egged him into that. You guys want to appeal this? I'm not saying that's wrong as a referee, but you know what I'm talking about. It's almost like an umpire that in baseball that knows that the guy at third base tagged up a little too late.
Yeah, but it was such a bizarre play. I think even in James' head,
he saw something weird.
He saw something weird, and he had to ask. So that's why he asked his linesman, and he knew there was something wrong with the call.
You're right. I believe he actually could have just gone to the linesman verbally and just said, "What did you guys see?" I think that would have been a correct call too. Either way, the correct call was made.
Wow, that's 2 kill shots in a row.
You see Toddy block Marco Chavez there.
But that ball was so low.
Oh, look at that. See, now, guess what happened? Toddy's a little embarrassed for sticking his foot out on that play. That's the bizarre.
He went to a second gear.
1 minute. Score when we resume is 18-16.
Wow, nice little comeback. 18-16 now. Definitely one of the stranger plays that we've seen in this tournament. The little weird things happen every now and then. John Bike serving the ball. He serves what is obvious to everybody in the gallery, to include the 4 players in the court and the referee, what is going to be a short. It's going to be short by about 3 feet. Toddy sticks his foot out to just kind of stop it and kick it back to his doubles partner, and you can't do that. You can't take your foot out of that. Even if you're out of that that little box there, he took his foot out, but it wasn't, you know, it was in the air out. It wasn't, you know, planted on the ground out. So I guess you can't lean over. Here's that bizarre play. Let's look at it. The ball's clearly going over, and he sticks his foot out and just taps it. Now, Toddy said it didn't hit his foot, but
it did. The thing is that, you know, in practice we do that sometimes, just that to get the short, you know, stick your foot out, but that foot was way out of the box, and it was obvious.
I guess my question to you, you know, can any part of your body be leaning outside of that box area?
Not supposed to.
What happens if you were 350 pounds and you just...
Well, the thing is that you can always argue that you were going to be hit by the ball and you didn't want to get hurt or something, and you made a movement and then you get hit by the ball. But you can always argue with that, but not on the foot, not like in this situation.
Yeah, you're right.
16-18.
Purposefully stuck his foot out there. That makes all the difference in the world. That's not where John wanted to hit that.
Slide ball, replay.
Oh.
Ball slid.
No, see, Taddy doesn't want it.
You can't appeal that. I called a slide.
Taddy doesn't want it.
So could Toddy appeal that?
See, Taddy just missed it. That was a very honest call by Taddy. Taddy wanted it, and he missed it.
James certainly has the angle, though, from right where he's at. He's looking right down on that wall. That looked like a weird bounce off the hole, more so than the previous.
Yeah, nice touch by John Bike here.
Watch the hole.
Really soft.
Nice to see John make an offensive shot, a successful offensive shot.
Oh.
Well, he missed about 11 feet shy of the front wall there.
17-18.
Nice John Bike. Kill shot with his right.
2 minutes.
Glove change.
Smart.
Well, we've had an exciting first part of the game number 1 of the men's double finals. It's continued coverage from the world of pro handball. It's the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball, the Nadi Alvarado Classic. Let's look at this instant replay here. Taking the ball off the wall.
Boom.
John Bike just using that that offhand of his. He has a really strange
swing
with his offhand.
It's a straight arm, real straight.
Almost Irish, but it's almost just something that the only player I've ever seen that shoots like that.
He didn't put his arm real far back. He's such a strong guy. It was all wrist movement with a little arm movement.
The only person I've ever seen make a shot like that is John Bike and my mom. You know, and the only difference is about 22 national championships. But my mom does make some really good biscuits and gravy.
I bet she does.
18 points.
Looking at you, I bet she does.
There you go. You know, I didn't get it the first time. I got it the second time. John Bike Jr. Toddy SILVEYRA actually were down on the whole game. They were down 4 or 5 points the whole game, although it's been fairly tight. And then all of a sudden they came back after that kind of embarrassing play that Toddy had.
Yeah, that pumped Toddy a little bit.
Started rolling balls out.
There's an ace.
There's an ace. John actually.
Same thing as when he came back from the timeout earlier. He came back with an ace.
Yeah, John wishes he had 21 timeouts. Get one every time. He almost got it again. This is what John wants. Serve and shoot.
Oh, big hop by Marcos Chavez. That ball probably moved 2 feet. Look at this.
19-17.
Wow.
Ooh.
Side out.
That was a quick side out once Toddy got into the service box. Look at the crowd. They're cheering on. They're
17-19.
their idol, Toddy SILVEYRA. Boy, it's so nice to see the guys that I'm seeing in here. Toddy SILVEYRA and Vince MUNOZ. And of course, John Bike and Marco Chavez are awesome too. But
bad bounce.
It did hit the crack.
He's appealing
Nice call.
bad bounce. I saw bad bounce. Both agree. Call stands. 17-19.
Oh, that was a weird looking shot. All just flew off that left wall.
Point. $18-19.
Wow.
You see John migrate back over to the left side.
Point.
Tati kind of hesitated a little bit on that shot, but he had a clear shot. We knew it was going to be a close match, isn't it?
Yeah, boy, this is exactly what the doctor ordered here. That shows the brilliance of Bruce Fabrizio when he decided to allow these guys only play one way and say, you know, we're gonna try to bring the biggest doubles match of all time. 20 to 19 here.
Nice shot.
Toddy SILVEYRA bringing both of his opponents down to the ground here. Look at these guys. Look, it's almost like synchronized handball. That could be Olympic sport there. Synchronized diving.
20, game point, serves 19.
That'll look good on the highlight reel.
Bad bounce, replay.
Look
Wow,
at that shot.
look at that shot.
Man.
Was that focus or what?
No, he did that yesterday too. Look at that.
Boom.
Wow. I mean, saying he did it yesterday, meaning that toward the end here, when he really needed to get the point, you see Toddy jump from one level to a whole different level of handball.
That guy's amazing.
20, game point, serves 19.
What are you talking about? I've seen you make those shots. It's just hard doing it at this point when you're...
Yeah, 2019.
Well, that's an interesting...
Out.
Wow.
Oh, barely missed.
That was actually a really interesting shot from Toddy. This went to a really strange kind of a 50% shot and just kind of floated one down there for Vincent.
20.
Now we have 2 chances to get 2 points. John wants that one back.
Half out.
John wanted that back the second he hit it.
19 serves 20.
Oh, what a serve. Good get by Marcos. What a get by Marcos Chavez right here. He knew it was going to go to the right corner again. He even started his diving before Toddy started swinging.
Yeah, 20. I saw that. And
game point serves 19.
Yeah, I'm going over there anyway.
There it is.
There's an ace. Wow, very impressive.
We want to certainly congratulate Marco Chavez for his good play there in the last half there. He single-handedly basically got him the win there at the very end. Looked like Bike and Toddy were going to come back and potentially win that one, but it was Marcos Chavez. Looks like he was reading everything that Toddy SILVEYRA was doing. Let's go courtside to Kara Mack.
I'm joined with Tony Healy, who took home 3rd place today with a win over Emmett Pinoch and Bishop. Sorry, I am having problems with his last name. I'm so glad your last name's Healy.
We all are, yeah. It happens.
I had a talk with Paul Brady yesterday, and I actually asked him as he was watching doubles, any chance that we might see you two pair up together and be beating these guys out here someday? And you know, he said, you know, I'll never say never. What would you say to that?
Oh yeah, I suppose you never say never. Given the fact we just play one event here, we wouldn't play doubles. But if it was open to 2 events, we'd probably play doubles. I've played. I play with Ricky McCann traditionally at home, and Paul plays with Michael Finnegan. Basically, we team up better that way, I think, you know, and that's kind of the way it's been. But I don't know. I guess you never say never. You know, maybe me and Paul would kill each other if we were playing in there together. We mightn't do so well.
Knowing that you two are the best in Ireland, I know that you want to win just to make it to the finals, but is there something that makes you want to win just so you can play Paul Brady and go head-to-head with him one more time?
Well, yeah, I suppose you gauge yourself on the guy who's winning, and you know you want to beat the best guys out there, you know, and I suppose Paul is the #1 guy at the moment, you know, so I'm disappointed that I'm not in there, you know. I'm very disappointed I'm not in there, and I don't have the opportunity to go for it, you know. So, but that's the way it goes.
What do you think this whole live webcast thing? Do you have people watching you at home? Anyone you want to say hi to? I heard everyone's sleeping.
Oh yeah, well I suppose they're not sleeping yet. Well, the webcasting is fantastic. Since the US Nationals there, I started to realise in some of the other tournaments how many people are actually watching it. When I go home, more and more people are telling me, yeah, geez, we saw it on the webcast. I just got a call there from some friends in San Francisco who are watching it. 5 minutes after my match, they said, well done, you know. So it's great, like it's a great outlet for handball, and long may it continue.
This is the game that you have to have a side job. It's a get to know Tony Healy session right now, so tell us about what you do on the side.
I work as a kind of an IT administrator for a company called CompuNet in Cork in Ireland. Those guys watch the webcast as well, you know. They knew nothing about handball before I started there, but now they know all the top players without ever seeing them, you know, through the webcast. So I do IT administration for small to medium businesses in Cork. And like I say, it's my day job. I do that and play handball as much as I can on top of it. So, you know, it's a tough balance, but it's a good balance too.
Any memorabilia on your desk? You have that handball sitting there, any trophies?
No, nothing like that. Work and handball, I like to keep separate, you know. I take so much time off work that if I bring my handball into work, you know, I'll probably just I'll get thrown out altogether. So I try and keep the two of them separate.
You said goodbye to your father, sent him back off to Ireland earlier today, but he was here supporting you. Has that brought you two together? Are you much closer because of the sport?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sure, my dad is my #1 supporter. He brought the game to me. I wouldn't be here playing only for him and for the support from when I started from about 8 or 9 years old, showing me the game and showing me the top players. When I was very young, I was very eager, only like 11, 12 years old, to be a top player, because he used to take me to see all these top players, the top guys in Ireland at the time. We used to travel around the country to see them, and you know, there's absolutely no way I'd be here only for him.
Watching now doubles, as a singles player and someone who is not that coy on handball and doesn't know too much about it, how does a singles player have to adapt and alter their play in order to play doubles?
Well, doubles is team, and a lot of the times good singles players don't make good doubles players. They look good on the court, but maybe they're not as good doubles players. But I suppose getting a partnership together, you know, and getting a good understanding is the key. And
having some beers together.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but the guys in there now, both sets of guys, Marcos and Vince, I think particularly have a very, very good understanding. You can see that they play a lot of doubles together. I think John and Tati, even though they've played a lot in the past, you know, they haven't been competitive together. And I think Marcos and Vince seems to have the edge like that and seem to have a little bit of the understanding, but it's only one game down, so who knows.
I've seen you walking around checking out the other courts. Are you looking for young players who might be coming up and playing you soon?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of those guys, I'm sure. You know, there's a lot of good young players at the moment, you know, so try and fight them off for as long as I can.
Well, thank you very much. We'll go back to the game here soon. Have a good trip back to Ireland.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kara. I love listening to Tony Healy talk, a recent newlywed as well, and it really hasn't affected his game much, Danny. Got married to lovely Hillary, who was here during the U.S. Nationals this year, and it was just a couple months prior. I think he said he went, this might sound strange, but I think he got married in South Lake Tahoe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, either that they vacationed there or they had a honeymoon in South Lake Tahoe, and I said, you just had a honeymoon in South Lake Tahoe, and I only live 50 minutes away. And he goes, no, no, no. I had a honeymoon with my wife in South Lake Tahoe. I wasn't going to call you and have you come out and play handball or go jet ski. And I thought about that for a second. I said, yeah, I think you're right. But certainly his game has gotten a lot better. I actually thought it was going to get a little worse there because, you know, sometimes you go through this marriage and you start having kids and then you just get away from the court a little bit. But for him, it's actually worked the opposite. He's actually lifted his game. She's very supportive of his handball. And
probably eating a lot better also, too.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes that's another thing that happens. And maybe eating more healthy instead of on the go all the time. It's game number 2. John Bike Jr., the #1 seeds, with his double partner, Toddy Silveira, the legend, Vincent Munoz and Marco Chavez. They won the first one. It was a tight game, just as expected. 21-18 was the score.
Well, it's 19, I think.
It's 21-19. They almost made it back.
Well, they had a chance. They got to serve 2 serves back at 19.
Between the 4 players in there, they have 16 4-wall national titles in doubles.
Hey, Fred, will you watch the line until you
But if we were going to count the 3 walls, the singles, the worlds, I could almost predict that there's at least, I would say, 50 trophies between these guys if you're going to go back to collegiates and juniors and 3-wall.
Got to be close to that, yeah.
Maybe even more. I know John has something like 28 just on his own, but that's what happens when you start playing at the age of, you know, 12 years old and start winning titles and you're 40 or, you know, in John's case 40, your case 45 years old. You have 13 Canadian championships, and I didn't realize that a non-Canadian can go into Canada and win a national championship, but I guess the same is true.
Well, it's the Canadian Open. It's like the U.S. Nationals, you know. Last year, the U.S. National, well, not this year, but the year before, for the first time, there was no American in the final. It was Brady and myself, Irish guy and a Canadian. It was the first time ever. So it's wide open to everybody. Oh, he starts with an ace.
Oh, Marco Chavez is definitely hotty. Yeah, you're ready. Finished hot, and now he's starting hot.
1-0.
See bikes switch back to the left.
Second serve.
After playing to the right, the end of the first game.
Well, that's a smart move too, because he's going to give Toddy a little break here at the beginning of this game, and when it really counts, he'll probably bring Toddy Silveira back. It looks like John's trying to guide that ball in. He actually hit that softer than he normally hits it too.
Yeah.
Side out.
I want to thank our sideline reporter, Kara Mack, for
0-2.
being right there on the scene when these players come out of the court and trying to find some inside scoop on what's going on. She's been interviewing the referee, from the referee to the moms of the players and everybody in between.
Yeah, she's doing a real good job.
Doesn't know a lot about the game. She actually took a course, a 2-week course in handball. Kind of knows a little bit about it. She actually went in there and played a little bit.
1-2.
But really, it's kind of hard to pronounce these names if you've never heard of them before. Emmett Pashot and Desi Keegan and James Comstoff. I mean, I can't even. I still can't even pronounce it. I've known the guy for 15 years.
That was a nice get by Toddy there. Dove in front and re-killed it.
2-2.
The score is 2, serves 2, second game. The deuces are wild on the simple green scoreboard.
Nice lead by Marcos there.
Point. 3-2. 3-2. Replay.
We got a text message from Albert Apuzzi from New York. You might be familiar with Albert Apuzzi. He says in his text message, ask John Bike if he wants a shot at getting his $20 back. I don't know what that means. Sounds like an inside joke. We're going to have to
ask with John a little later.
Yeah, there's always a story in this game of handball when you've been around for years.
Nice kill by Taddy Silveira. That's what he needs to do. He's got to put the ball down.
4-2.
Used to be Taddy's trademark.
Point.
Like that?
Exactly. That's 2 in a row.
I always thought his trademark shot was always going down on one knee and hitting that ball really low. You know, I've seen many times where he's just gets down so low to hit those kill shots, and it's interesting now to finally see him start to do that here in the second game. That went way missing in the middle part of the first game.
Nice kill by Vince.
Oh yeah, Vince Munoz is playing too. I haven't seen.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Really quiet. Marco Chavez, he gets out on the left side.
Well, that's what happens when you're 2 right-handed players and the guy on the right doesn't touch the ball very often. Taddy and Bike mix it up more because they are lefty and righty, but when you got 2 guys that are right-handed, the guy on the right only hit the ball maybe once every 10 times.
Can say this about all 4 of those guys. If they were going to play a game of singles, just a one-time singles match, they're all very even. I mean, Marco Chavez is not the weakest link in there. It could very well be John Bike and Taddy Silveira, one of those 2 guys. But boy, you never know. I wouldn't put money up against any one of those type of matchups with any one of those 4 if they were going to play a game of singles. Anybody could win.
Oh, Bike is disappointed on the. He should have covered Taddy on that one.
Second serve.
Here's a half-speed serve by Marco.
And there it is. That's
used to be successful, but not this one.
There's Lupita Bike cheering on her husband. This is a really nice kill shot. Finally, the first one that we've really seen John do. That is the signature John Bike shot.
Replay.
Did not see exactly what Toddy was trying to do there. I thought he was going to try to laser that down the right wall.
Me too. Probably mishit it and hit Marcos.
5-5. Point.
Wow.
It's a nice kill shot by Vince Munoz. This game is going to go real close till the end. Just like the first game.
Replay.
Oh.
Replay.
See Marcos's get?
He got that, and was that replay because it hit Toddy?
It hit Toddy. Yeah, I'd like to see a replay on that on the next
available chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's two things either happened. Either was a bad bounce off the back doorway.
Why he didn't call bad bounce? He just called a replay. Let's see the replay.
Let's look at this here. Marcos is going to run around. Here it is.
Here it is. No. There.
Okay, Marcos is going to run around. No, it was a good bounce, and it actually hit Toddy.
Take the ball, Vince.
It was a good bounce.
8-5.
When you fight for something, you always get something out of it. He could have gave up and not getting it, but he tried for it and got the replay.
Ooh. Another good philosophy is swing as hard as you can in case you hit it. You know, in this case, he has such good athletes that they have such good eye-hand coordination that you just you throw a hand out there, just throw it out there. You never know what's going to happen. A lot of players sometimes just lose that that philosophy of keeping their head in the game, they'll see that they can't get the ball and they'll just let it go. And they have a really good chance of just throwing your hand out there. You never know what's going to take place.
Replay, ball slid.
Is that a slide on the ground? Must have been a ground slide right there.
Yeah, everybody saw it. Nobody's complaining.
9-5. Short. Peel, I called it short. One didn't see it, one agrees.
That's the first
Ball
appeal of the
stands.
game,
Second
of the match
serve.
actually, for a short serve.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of those. I wonder who called that.
It was Vince. Ooh.
Side out.
Well, Vince MUNOZ and Marco Chavez just scored a few points there. Kind of stretching that lead up to 9. John Bike has been missing his kill shot.
Nice get.
That was a nice leave by SILVEYRA.
Half out.
Nice kill shot.
Toddy migrated back to the left side
5-9.
pretty far back, and then Marcos just steps in and kills that ball.
Side out.
Boy, that Marco Chavez is really playing good handball right now. You know, yesterday we were watching him play, and he was kind of 50-50 Marcos. 50% of the time he hit it 2 inches high, and the other 50% of the time he was missing it.
But Marcos is, out of the 4 guys, he's the one who's been playing most lately. The last 2 years he's been on the tour playing all the championship series, and these guys have been, they stayed home.
Well, we saw him in Seattle earlier in the year, actually in February, where he went to the finals against Nadi Alvarado Jr., took him to a tiebreaker, almost won that match.
Yeah.
May have won the match if there was a different referee. Just joking, Jay Balkenbush, I know you're at home. Spokane, Washington, listening to the webcast. Jay's a great guy. Like that Jay Balkenbush.
Point. They're set. Half out. 9-5.
Wow, nice get by Marcos.
Jump Bike finally hit a ball kind of low there, and what happens? It just pops up. Bike and SILVEYRA need to do something here before this gets too far out of hand.
Side out.
You know, Tony Healy made a good point during that timeout where he said that that Marcos and Vince have played a lot more recently together than has John and Toddy. Even though John and Toddy got the #1 seed, you had to do that because of the national championships and I guess just out of respect, but when you really look down at it, the #1 seeds are Vince MUNOZ and Marco Chavez because of their recent wins, their most recent national championship wins and the 3-wall wins, although you don't take that into consideration.
Marco's been playing a lot though. That was a nice leave on the last shot there. Marcos just bent over and let that ball go to Vince, and Vince killed it. Very smart move by Marcos. That is what makes a quality player, a guy that plays on the right side. Very often he's tempted on using his left or cutting the ball, but he has to leave it for the guy on the left, so he'll have a better shot at it. That's what makes a right double partner good partner.
Good get by Marcos. Boy, I'm very impressed. You know, I've played against Marcos and I've seen him, I don't know, the last 10 years or so, and he just progressively gets better. In fact, I thought over the last 2 years he really made a huge jump from you know, like another tier type jump where he's getting close to being considered one of the top 5 players in the world. He was really close. He's like 6 or 7. And I tell you what, there is a big difference between 6 and 7 and 3 through 4 right now. So
oh, yes, there is.
back when we had Dave Chapman on the Pro Tour, there was a big difference between number 1 and number 2.
Yeah. Number 1 and the rest of the game.
There's so many different levels to handball. You say here we got these open players, we got pro players, but really it's almost like we've got 4 or 5 different pro players, and then we've got the you know, back when Dave Chapman especially, then you've got the 5th pro player out there, and you was watching a match in Portland, Oregon a couple years back. Yeah, I believe you were there at the Nationals when Nadi Alvarado Jr. was playing Marco Chavez and hit something like 13 straight crack serves, ended up beating Marcos 21-1, 21-0 in an incredible match there. And Marcos at that time was about the 5th player in the world, and or 5th or 6th player in the world, and you're looking, wow, you're number 2 is so far off from number 5.
Exactly.
And then you see Dave Chapman play Nadi Jr. in the finals the very next day, and Dave makes Nadi look like what Nadi made Marcos look like the day before.
10-6. Good. Second serve.
Ooh, rare mistake by Marcos. He hasn't missed in a while.
That's the first real mistake of the day for him. I mean, I just haven't seen him make any. Oh, nice get.
Nice leave by Marcos again. Ooh.
That's exactly what Marcos wanted right there. Wanted to just jump in and poach that really quick. John playing exceptionally close to the front wall during the most part of that rally. For as quick as this ball is and how big he is, I'm surprised to see him get that close to the front wall.
Half out. Six, 10. Point.
Nice shot.
Boy, there's a thin line there between that successful series of events and potentially a screen ball, because I mean it was so close that the ball was just a little bit more over toward Tati. I could see a screen being called.
Yeah.
That was the right call.
Replay.
See how fast James calls that?
Yeah, just to avoid the injury.
And with authority.
7, 10. Hit him, replay. To serve, 7, 10.
Just kind of an interesting second serve by Toddy.
Nice touch by John Bike.
That's another one of those shots that John's been known to do. You see that little half serve that Toddy did on that second serve, just kind of flipped it over to Marcos. That's something Marcos has been known to do lately.
Yes.
Almost a screen there, but that's just out of bad positioning. Oh, John just missed it. Went through his legs and Toddy got it. There's that dump again.
Wow.
Well, they
look how Taddy got that ball between Bike's legs. How could he see it?
Have no clue.
10.
John actually swung for it and missed it, and Toddy hit it.
Side out.
What a cover by Taddy Silveira on that shot before.
Well, they got the score back reasonably close. It's now 9-10 for John Bike and Toddy Silveira.
10, 9.
Vince Munoz and Marco Chavez in the service box, though.
Oh, good hop.
That would
half out.
That would be a reverse for John, right?
Yeah.
You reverse that off the back wall just subtly enough. Not a lot, just
10, 9.
6 inches or so. Maybe a little less.
John's disappointed. He knew he had that.
Yeah, actually the second one was seemed to be, at least in his mind, a little bit easier to get than that first one that he got. He had a better angle at it, but he just over-jumped the ball. Here it is. He got the first one. He knew exactly where the second was going to go, and he said, what am I doing?
I think he slid.
Slid on his own
Yeah,
sweat.
he slid on his own sweat, and he had to use his left. He was going to use his right, and
the score is 11 serves 9. Vincent Munoz and Marco Chavez, not brother Carlos, who is also in the tournament. He was in the doubles too, but that's Marco Chavez against John Bike and Toddy Silveira, game number 2. The first one went to Vince and Marcos by the score of 21-19.
good cover by John Bike again.
Now we have seen a couple of those John Bike left-handed dump shots now here. Like John said, you have the player that's hot, you kind of want to stick with the player that's hot. And right now it's definitely John Bike that's hot.
9-11.
The score is 9 serves 11. Toddy Silveira, nice little spin on that ball. That was a natural.
Oh, mistake by
Excuse me, that was a reverse on that on that serve that made it slide the wall.
9.
Ooh.
Replay.
Yeah, I thought that should have been called a little bit earlier, but
Well,
I think
mean, that was Marcos was injuring hindering Vince, so that's why there was no call. But then they hindered John Bike.
all the players all so close together up there. Oh, look at that.
Skip ball.
Nice recovery by Toddy Silveira again behind the back.
Marco Chavez is one of those players that when he dives for a ball, if you notice that he almost re-kills his dives.
Yeah.
A lot of guys try to pop that ball back up. Marcos is on the floor a lot.
Look again. Look at that again. Moved in and re-killed it.
Really good hands. Taking a quick little towel timeout, game number 2. If you just tuned in, Vincent Munoz and Marco Chavez won the first game.
9. Screen serve.
That's a good call.
Yep.
2 serves, 1 screen.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
From that position, he was really high above his waist to hit down. Let's see.
I thought he was going to floor it.
Look how high he hit that ball.
9-12.
You're right. That looked like it went right into the floor from our position, but it didn't.
I guess he went over the ball, and so when the ball hit the side wall, it stayed up
Second serve.
to reach the front wall. If it would have been a natural, it would have go down.
Half out.
Wow. See how quick Marcos moved to cover that corner?
9-12. Point.
Big hop there. That's fooled Marcos.
10-12.
Wow, big hop again.
Oh, look at that.
But Marcos.
Replay.
Oh, unlucky for Marcos. That ball hit Tati's legs going in. He left his hand right when it happened.
That was a nice, nice looking play, but maybe it would have stayed up a little higher if it wouldn't have hit him, but it's almost the exact same serve right there.
Replay.
Good call.
Vince points toward James and says, thank you.
10-12.
That was supposed to be in a short serve. See if anybody feels this after it's over.
That out.
There he goes.
No, look
His
at
appealing
John Bike.
serve, I called the serve good.
You were right.
One agrees, one
It
disagrees.
was close.
Call
Oh,
stand, side
even
out.
the linesman. One
Again,
agree, one disagree.
We're talking to Nani Alvarado Jr. Here's
See the
serve.
replay.
12-10.
I thought I hit the line. Just over, maybe,
Yeah,
from our
just
angle.
over, yeah.
That's the right call that was made.
Yeah, it was over, I think.
The only way to really know is if we had a camera right down on that service line.
Point.
Wow. Unlucky break there.
Now, you're at a point now in this game where you really can't make any mistakes. I mean, you can say that obviously when you open up that door to get into the court, but this is this point where Marcos and Vince only need to score 7 points.
Half out.
And you can't make mistakes like going to an easy ceiling shot and then not even making it to the front wall.
Screen serve. 2 serves, 1 screen.
Oh, there it is.
Side out.
Could have been a screen.
No hinder.
You see, John. It's not a hinder because I think James is thinking the ball didn't come up. Oh, it did come up though, didn't it?
Yeah. Vince is asked, but Vince is not going to complain.
You see how quick John hit that ball and ran out of the way really quick, just to try not to get a screen because he knew that he had Vince behind him. Look at how these guys position themselves, always constantly moving around. There it is. They move back over to the left side. Everybody's over. Now they all switch around again.
Oh, should have been an avoidable.
That could have been an avoidable on Toddy. But James is letting these guys play. Don't want the referee to take away too many of these shots.
Nice touch by Marcos.
You're right on that. It could be called an avoidable hinder.
Well, Taddy didn't move out at all on a big fat back wall setup.
And we saw that called yesterday. I believe maybe you were refereeing that match.
I did it against
Emmett.
I did it against Emmett. I called it against Emmett. That ball barely went over his shoulder by an inch.
And I think he was wearing a blue shirt, which even made it a lot worse.
Look how Taddy didn't move at all.
Yeah.
Gladly, Marcos got the point anyway. They need to score a few points here.
Ball is good. I'm calling the ball good.
Yeah, that's interesting how it's going to turn out.
I called it good.
Sounded skipped to me.
Disagrees, call stand, side out. (14-10).
Good shot by John Bike. Just hitting it back to Marcos's feet with a little hop. Good serve. Here's a setup.
So hard to kill a ball against these guys in there. Especially if you're trying to kill one in front of Marco Chavez.
Wow.
That's the only
What a volley.
That's the only successful way they've been able to score points is when John's been able to dump that ball up there like that. He's flat rolling those dump shots, right and now left-handed, and or I should say left and now right-handed. That was just an issue with where Toddy was positioned.
Yeah, Toddy went a little bit in the back to cover the left corner, but John cut it off, and that fooled Tati, who got stuck in the back.
If you weren't here doing the webcast with us, you would probably be watching this match, right?
Oh, of course. Probably referee it, maybe. Give James a break. He ref the third place match. He ref the women's.
Yeah,
did he ref the woman? I'm not sure. But then
yes,
he's gonna ref the big final. So
yeah, he actually is gonna ref all of the finals today. He got the third place, the women's, the doubles, and I believe he'll be in the singles.
wow.
That's if you say no.
Second serve.
Wow. Oh, beautiful kill by Vince.
Ball is good. Time out.
Call that a skip? That's a skip, yeah. From what I saw, it's a skip.
What's the call here? John standing in the court. I guess there's
Feel
a.
it. I called the ball good on the front wall. One agrees, one didn't see it. Call stands, it's a side out. Time out. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
John's, you know, we'd like to have the mic on to find out what's going on down there. I don't know if Kara is down there or not, if she could tell us if she heard anything, but we obviously know what they're arguing about because John and Toddy think that's skipped and they're appealing that, and John's now talking to James, trying to see what the...
It sounded good, but on the replay, it looked skipped to me.
Can we look at that replay one more time? It looks...
20 seconds!
It looked that in real motion, I thought it looked like it skipped initially, but you heard the crowd cheering, so yeah, it kind of looks like there's something going on there. Can we get that in super slow-mo when it gets up to the front wall, just frame by frame, right when the ball... Slow that down, right? Nope,
yeah, may have hit the front wall first.
It looked like it did hit the front wall first. You have a spot there where the ball
14-10.
is right on the front wall. Looked like a good call.
Point.
Wow.
Check the ball. Broken ball, replay.
Broken ball. That's it. There's a break.
Well, John knew something was weird.
Yeah, he could have got it maybe if it could never broken.
Try it out.
They've been stuck at 14-10 for a while. There hasn't been a point in a long time. Of course, there's been a couple of timeouts and
a broken ball and a... Wow, that's amazing. So hard to kill a ball out.
Look at this.
Point.
And how do you...
Yeah, I told you, it's tough to make that ball roll, especially in doubles.
Look how
I
far...
mean, there's two guys to pick everything.
Look how far all these guys are playing, too. You have all four players, except for the guy who hits the ball. He's the furthest one back. That's not real traditional handball, but, you know, these guys are playing all past the dotted line. And with this hot, fast ball, it kind of surprises me. These guys are so good. Look at that.
Wow.
Now, you remember Marco Chavez was the one that was going all out earlier, and it seemed like he was in the middle of every play, and now it looks like Vince Munoz is doing it.
Taking over a little bit.
Got a quick towel timeout. Like you said, it was at 14-10 for a long time. Now 2 quick points. Vincent Munoz orchestrated that for his team.
16-10.
Here James Comstock called the score.
Point.
Wow, look at Vince again.
Vince Munoz is on
3
fire.
rollouts in a row. He's laughing about it.
What does he say? He always has an entourage everywhere he goes. There's a crowd of people, the Vince supporters. Wow, you see how hard he hit that? That ball actually made a different sound off the front wall there.
Yeah, he just pounded it.
17-10.
Marcos.
Would have been better off just to let that go back to Vince.
17-10, one screen. Right up. Ten, 17. Replay.
Taddy's not moving anymore.
10,
He's just
17.
letting himself hit by the ball. Learn his lesson.
Point.
Well, that's an easy point there. They've been at 10 for a long time. See how they pick on Marcos now?
Yeah, it's very strange how this game can just switch around. And one player's hot, you kind of ride that for a while. Now Vince is really hot.
Half out.
You still can't rule out Toddy and
11,
John Bike.
17.
Oh no.
Toddy's going to take this game over here if it gets closer. I actually think right now is the time for him to do it. Wow, nice leave.
Point.
It ended up being a point anyway, but that was still
Yeah.
12, 17.
oh, there's the crack.
There we go.
Point.
13. Tati's changed gear now.
13, 17.
One final push. Boy, he's hitting that ball hard, isn't he?
There's another one. It's a good run by Tati.
We saw both Marcos Chavez and Vince Munoz go down to one knee to get
14,
that ball.
17.
That's 4 quick points there.
Great serve again.
Replay.
That one.
That hit John Bike's foot. Good get by Vince.
Wait, did they
That was a
switch
tough
sides?
serve.
They switched sides. Then Vince and Marcos switched. I guess they've always been that way. I might be wrong,
14,
but I thought I saw
17.
Marcos over there taking one of those serves just a while ago, but I might be wrong.
Second serve.
I think I am wrong, actually. See, I admitted it, and it's actually being recorded. Might want to keep that and play it back for later.
Replay.
That's not an avoidable. That's
No, but that's a good block. It's a good legal block.
14, 17. Set up.
Nice fly by Vince, not allowing Tati to get up.
Toddy took that shot and just stayed down there. Yesterday when we're watching some of those singles matches and caught a glimpse of a nice run that Tony Healy had against Nadia Alvarado. You saw Tony making the shots like that, but immediately getting back up and running back into the play. And that's the difference between a guy that works out every day and practices and a guy who is an exceptional athlete, one of the greatest players of all time, but just really kind of left the sport for a couple years.
Yeah.
And that really is no knock to Toddy, but the difference in level is that Toddy SILVEYRA is going to have to get up to where Tony Healy is and be able to do what he used to do when he was younger, and that is bounce right back, because he certainly could have still been in that play right there. He hit that, he fell down, he just stayed down.
Well, he stayed down, maybe hoping that John Bike would move in and cover, but John was stuck to the left wall, to the right wall.
17,
You know, when you have a
14.
partner, sometimes you think differently.
It's only a 3-point lead now.
Wow, look at Vince again.
Boy, he's on fire.
Been hot the last 5-6 points.
18, 14. Replay.
Oh, almost an avoidable. But it's been contact between Toddy and Vince.
Yeah.
I thought John jumped up a little too quick there, but.
There was a screen too on John's part.
Now watch John. He's going to go down here, red shirt. He's down on the ground, and now watch he. Yeah, I guess there was this contact right there between Toddy and Vince. John didn't look that bad actually in the replay.
Yeah, he moved out.
18-14.
Hey, this replay makes us really good refs. You actually were already a really good ref.
Both agree, call stands.
But it's interesting to see the replays. And, you know, sometimes you can make you can change your call. Everything happens so fast.
Point.
Yeah, you're actually kind of learning something from out here, aren't you? You kind of see some plays where you're like, wait a second, I thought that was a screen. And yeah, it's very interesting to see it from this perspective.
Of course, the best seat in the house is still the referee spot.
Wow, nice get. 2 shots in a row. And Toddy almost hit John, and then, gosh, he wants that ball back.
He punched it.
Yeah, he used a fist on that.
Yeah, he used a fist on that. I'm surprised.
That's fatigue, though. He wanted to hit with power.
Match point right here.
This could be match of game.
Oh, what a touch by John by gutsy shot at 20.
20, championship point, serves 14.
Wow.
Yeah, roll out.
There it is.
Marcos is really happy about it.
For $7,000. $7,000 in cold hard cash going right to Marcos and Vince Munoz. They win the doubles. The number 2 seeds beat the number 1 seeds. John, you can tell at the very end, was going to hit this ball really hard, and he looks over at Marcos and goes, what? I just put a huge natural on that, and that's supposed to jump 4 feet, not 2.
It's a good win, very good win, very good match.
Let's take a look at this check. Boy, that was kind of an interesting game. The first one could have gone either way. Toward the end, it was 21-19 was the final score, with Vince Munoz and Marcos Chavez playing an incredible handball. And then in the second game, it was always trying to fight back. John Bike Jr. and Toddy Silveira were. Never could quite get there, and all of a sudden at the very end of that run there in the second game, you saw the score was 16-11, and Toddy went in and got a few points and brought it up to 14-16, and then immediately Marcos and Vince just pulled away to get that all the way up to 21. You see Bruce Fabrizio from Simple Green, the guy that's putting on this tournament right now. He's going to award the check. There's Marcos giving us a kind of a smile.
Yeah, he's a happy guy.
Very supportive. Here, so you got a big smile from Marcos Chavez. Vincent Munoz is very happy. That's the wrap-up of the men's doubles finals as we get ready for the big marquee matchup of the day. Let's go courtside really quickly to Kara Mack. What's going on, Kara?
We got the big winners today and taking home a $7,000 check. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it feels great.
What was the big component today on beating John and Toddy?
I think mostly shooting the ball, not rallying with them too much. You know, Toddy's, still a great player, and to keep the ball away from him as much as possible, because, as you can see, is that towards the end of the game, he was just shooting really well in the first game.
It was a really tough match, though. I mean, head-to-head, both games, they kept it right on you.
Yeah, it's tough up there. The ball's moving so quick now with this new ball. I'm just trying to keep it in play without setting a player up.
Talk about your communication on the court. How hard is it with doubles?
Well, Vince and I, we've been playing doubles for many years. He's brought me up in handball, basically. So, playing with Vince is almost like, playing with your father or your brother. It's very easy.
What does Vince take care of that you necessarily don't, and vice versa? What are your strengths and your weaknesses, and how does he compensate for that? Well,
he shoots the ball a lot. I don't shoot too much. I do most of the rallying and digging, which I know he doesn't like doing, so that's what we do in our game.
When you two are talking yesterday, knowing that you're going to be taking on Toddy and John, what was going to be your strategy coming in, and how did you do that?
Not much of a strategy. Just come in and just, keep off the hand errors. For for me, let go of the ball a lot more so Vince could, you know, really shoot the ball, because he was shooting phenomenal this whole tournament.
You're taking home a big check. Congratulations. That'll be a lot of fun and feel great today.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'll send it back to you guys.